And if you're on the team, it makes it the worst because all Sam Darnold's going to think about all offseason is those last 2 games.
Yep.
That's all he's going to think about, those last 2. Had greatest season he could have ever had. The season he needed to have on a prove-it year. He had it. Last 2 games, terrible. All he's going to think about all offseason. From a player's perspective, it's like, how do you get better? How do I recover? How do I get healthy in time? What surgeries am I going to have? What surgeries am I not going to have? It came out Bo Nix had, 3 fractured
transverse fractures in his back.
It happened against the Raiders. There was a shot that he took to his side. He played the next week against Cleveland, and then there was a bye week, and then he beat the hell out of the Indianapolis Colts after the bye week, and then he plays all the way through the wild card with 3 cracked vertebrae or whatever it is in this guy's back, playing like this. It's like, what? Like, this is awesome that this younger generation still has guys like this. Now, I know Bo's older. Because Bo played a lot of football. But it is nice to know that there's another generation of football players that are willing to play through a broken frickin' back. I think he actually said, and D-Butt, correct me if I'm wrong, that next game against Cleveland was like Monday Night Football or something like that.
Yeah.
And he had a couple fractures in his back, and he was like, I'm not missing my Monday Night Football. No way. Like, I've dreamt my whole life to play a Monday. That's love of game. That's love of sport.
Quarterback.
And I'm happy to hear that from Bo Nix because I don't know if you've been seeing a lot of these quotes from a lot of these teams that have exited, AJ. I don't love it. Seems like we're hearing a very similar message from a lot of these places, and I'm not used to us hearing this immediately upon teams ending their season. Feels like it's a lot of accountability issues. Got to check the ego at the door. Tucker Kraft came out and said, it's been brewing for us. We could kind of feel that this was going to happen. Said he plans to step up as a leader. Wouldn't call the season a complete failure, but definitely disappointing. And then said the Packers need to wake up. I think that's like an urgency thing.
Yeah.
That is like an accountability thing. Mike McDaniel said, you got to let guys know that they can't do it, but I can't just fine them and they don't care. What else am I supposed to do? And then George Pickens in the Pittsburgh Steelers situation is continuing to be a big one because the Steelers once again don't win a playoff game. It's like, well, this guy was late to the game on Christmas. So, I mean, that's just one particular thing that was being reported. It feels like accountability is starting to become something that is lacking. And we wondered what the ripple effects were going to be of the NIL transfer portal era. We did wonder what that was going to be. And I'm not saying that it is a clean sweep. I don't ever want to brush something with a broad brush. That'd be rude to do an entire generation like that because clearly there are still a lot of dogs that are playing the sport. But I think there's a lot of guys that since high school have kind of been like the breadwinners almost for the family.
They've been the dude, right? They've been the dude, so no one's been able to really tell them anything. That's the problem.
Because they're making more money than everybody. And it's like, hey, what are you talking about?
And coaches, a lot of times though, coaches at a young age will tend to put up with that because the dude's a superstar and you're going to keep your job because the dude catches 4 touchdowns a game.
Be who you can afford to be has always been a thing. Well, these kids at a younger age are able to be something that only professionals have been able to be because they are becoming professionals younger, but I don't think they're becoming pros. That's the issue. I think in the NFL, it's like be a pro, be a pro, be a pro is how people describe accountability, being on time, making sure you're taking care of your shit. And it takes time for people to become a pro, but it feels like there's far less pros than there was back in the day. And it feels like there's a lot more professionals that have kind of been treated in an entitled fashion, have been enabled their entire lives. And now at college, if they run into any adversity, it's like, yeah, you can get out of here and you'll get paid more. You'll actually get rewarded more for running away from any trouble or potentially meanies that are not accepting of how you're playing now and want to make you even better.